very quick.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to math class today. Class. There's 3 of you. Really excited about it. This is our purpose for today. We're going to learn about variables, and we're going to get into algebra a little bit. And then this is what we're going to do. We're going to review some things, and then this is what will be new information for you guys, or at least mostly new. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do today. We'll just check it out as we go. These are some things that we're going to use today that we use when we're doing our math today, our algebra. So that's why I wanted to review them. PEMDAS. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Krista.
Okay, I don't know what it is exactly, but I know what the letters mean.
Okay.
Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction.
Okay, perfect. So I learned it this way. Okay. This is just, it's called the order of operations. Okay, and this is just review, so we're not going to spend too much time on it. All this says is that we do things in this order. Okay. In a math equation, which we're going to learn more about exactly what an equation is today, you do things in this order. So parentheses, anything inside the parentheses, that gets done first. Okay, then we go to exponents. You guys know what exponents are?
No.
Okay.
Exponent.
If I have this is an exponent right here.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. We won't be doing that today though, so. Multiplication and division. Why are they on the same line? Anybody know?
Because they are actually similar, like it's just a different way to present.
Exactly. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So there's no multiplication that comes first because it's the same as division. It's just doing it a different way. And then same with addition and subtraction. You could see these things both ways. So PEMDAS, we're going to use this today in what we're doing. Okay. So doing that one. Commutative. I said this wrong up until like 3 days ago, by the way. Okay. Commutative commute is the base word. It just means move. All this is really simple.
Ooh.
Means if you have 4 plus 3, it's the same as 3 plus 4. That's all it is. Okay? Very simple. Does that make sense to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We'll just do that up there. And distributive. How about that? Anybody? Distributive.
There's parentheses.
Okay.
Put a number into a set of parentheses.
Distributive means it usually has to do with the parentheses, okay? And if I have some number, 3, and you guys know by now that if I see 3 next to something, I'm going to multiply that, right? Okay, I don't need the little x anymore. And you're going to find out why we don't use x's for multiplication anymore, okay? 2 plus 1, that means I can either do what's in the parentheses, okay, according to the order of operations, or I can distribute, and I can do this, and then I can do this. And this would be, what's 3 times 2? What's 3 times 1? Okay, which equals? 9. If I added the parentheses, what would I get? 3 times 3, right? Which equals? Okay, so it's the same thing. Works the same way. So we have gone over these. Okay? So who knows what a variable is?
It's x,
It's an x?
and it can be different according to equation or algebra or math.
Okay. Isn't it always an x?
It can be y.
Okay. So variable, really, what it means is something that changes. Okay? It's something that either changes or something that we don't know. And it's usually represented by some letter, and x is the most common one. Okay? So that's pretty straightforward, and there's more about variables that you'll learn later on in math. But for now, this is a pretty good definition. Okay? It's just something we don't know, but it represents something. It's there. You can't just ignore it. Okay? You have to treat it as, you leave it as an x. Okay? How about an equation? is an equation?
Something with an equal sign.
Something with an equal sign, I like that. Okay? How many of you remember problems that look like this? That's it. Okay, first, second grade, whatever. Technically, this is an equal sign, or this is an equation. Okay, they just didn't put anything over here. Maybe you saw boxes. When I was in school, they had boxes. Okay, this box is the same thing as our variable. Okay, did you ever see something like this? Okay, so this is an equation. It's two parts on either side of an equal sign. They have to be equal to each other. Okay, so you guys have any questions so far? No? Okay. So we talked about a variable and we talked about an equation. The reason I put function up here, this is something that we're not going to work on today. How many of you guys have seen a graph or like a picture? You guys ever seen something that looks like this? Okay, and you maybe have a line or a dot. Okay. Today we're talking about, I forgot to write it up here, sorry. We're talking about linear equations. Okay? What do you think linear means?
A line.
If we take the AR off, it's just a line, right? That means if we draw our equation on something, it's going to be a line. Okay? That's pretty simple. And usually what linear means is there are no exponents. Okay? It means we have an x or two x's or five x's somewhere, but we don't have an x squared or an x to the third. Okay? Do you guys have any guesses as to what this will do to our picture if we draw it on a graph?
It'll be like this.
It'll make it curve. Okay? It's not a line anymore. Alright? So linear just means if we were to put our equation onto a picture, it would be a straight line. It could be almost up and down, it could be straight across. Okay? That's what linear means. Okay? And now, mess with equations. What do you guys think that means?
We play with equation.
Okay? You know what the cool thing about equations is? Say I have x plus 7, 3 equals 10. Okay? This is an equation. Do you guys agree? I have something on this side, I have something on this side. Okay? I have a variable, I have something, I don't know what this number is. And what a lot of times you guys will see from now on in math is not going to be what is 3 plus 4, what is 5 plus 10. They're going to say solve for x. They want to know what x is. Okay? And the neat thing about these is we can mess with these equations to make them look like whatever we want. And we can do that by using these things right here. Okay? So, for example, how would I mess with this equation? What could I do to it?
Using distributed.
Okay? We can do that.
So, yeah, like
So how would I distribute it, Caitlin?
3x
Okay?
plus
Give you a really hard example.
21 equals.
Okay? Do you guys like what Caitlin did? Yeah. Okay. So what she did is she didn't really do anything to it. She just made this look a little bit easier. Okay. One thing that we can do, let's do this. Let's forget this equation. Okay. Let's just have a box equals a triangle. We're gonna make this really simple. Okay. I'm telling you that this square is the same thing as this triangle. Okay. Forget. No, let's just do a square. Okay. If I add 2 to this side, what do I have to do to the other side?
Same thing.
I have to do the same thing, right? Okay. That's commutative property. Okay. So I can do anything as long as I do it to both sides. Do you guys believe me? They'll still be equal, right? if I have a box and a box, and then I have a box plus 2 and a box plus 2, they're still equal, right? Okay, thank you. Okay. So this is how we solve equations. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit simpler one, and this is something that you guys have probably seen, but maybe with a box. So remember I told you a lot of times you're going to see solve for x. Okay, so what that means is you want to get x by itself. Because if I have x on one side and something on the other side, it's going to tell me exactly what my x is, right? And that's what they're asking me to do. So how would I get my x by itself here? Any guesses? Minus the 7. Okay? So that's gone. So my x equals 10?
No, you have to do it to the other side.
Oh, okay. So I have to do it to this side too. And what do I get, Amy? 3. Okay? So this is algebra. You guys have seen it. You guys have done it. You just may not have known that that's what you were doing. Okay? So right now I'm going to give you a problem, and I want you 3 to work together on it. I want you to help each other out. I want you to solve it and explain to each other what you're doing as you're working on it, okay? So go ahead and write this down. So go ahead and write this down and solve it, and I'm going to float around. Just raise your hand if you guys need help.
Wait, 8 problems?
Just this one.
A problem. Oh.
A problem,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I was like, 8?
Supposed to be working together.
Oh.
So feel free to talk, if you need help, ask your neighbor.
Okay, so we just started out, I just did the parentheses, or I did distributed, and then so it ended up being 2x plus 14 equals 16, and then I minus 14 from both sides, and then I got 2x equals 2, and then I don't know, 1 divide by 2. There we go. Yay.
Good, good.
Yeah.
X equals 1? That makes sense. So how did you do it? Shannon, explain what you did first.
I did distributed.
Okay.
So it became 2x plus 14 equals to 16.
Okay. And then what?
And then minus 14 on each side. So it's 2x equals 2.
Okay.
Then divide by 2 on each side as well. And then x equals 2.
Okay. Very nice job. Could we have done this a different way?
Yeah.
What could we have started with? It's a little tricky.
Dividing by 2.
We could have divided by 2. And that would have gotten rid of this, and we would have just had x plus 7 equals 8. We're going to get the same answer? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, what's cool about algebra is that it is used in almost every kind of calculation you will do. Okay? How many of you guys have gone shopping? Kristen, you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh. How many of you guys have gone shopping? Okay. Sorry, how many of you ladies have gone shopping? So you go to a store and do you shopping with your parents?
With friends.
Okay. So say you guys want some cereal, okay? Say you want some cereal, and you want to know how much it's going to cost for every box of cereal you buy, okay? Does that sound like algebra to you? It sounds like looking at a price tag. Okay, so what's the price, Krista?
For Lucky Charms.
Yeah, for Lucky Charms. Is that your favorite bag of cereal? Whatever.
It's
Just-
$3.75.
$3.75. Okay. And I want to know how much it's going to cost for every bag of Lucky Charms that I buy. Okay. How would I put that into equation?
3 times.
Well, let's say it this way. What am I doing here? I can give you a bad example, I think. I did give you a bad example. I'm sorry.
Price per ounce.
Huh?
Price
Price
per ounce.
per ounce?
Okay, I don't know.
That will probably give you the same thing. Well, we'll just skip that. I don't know why I lost that problem in my head. I apologize. But anyway, you guys are 7th graders. Maybe you don't handle your own money yet. But when you do, go into the store and buy in things, you'll use algebra because you may not know how many bags of cereal. Okay, let's go back to our bag of cereal. So we have 375, okay? This is what I forgot. Okay? And say your mom says, Krista, you can spend $12 or yeah, $12. This might come out funky because you can't buy a partial bag of cereal, okay? But the point's there. So your mom says you have $12 to spend on cereal, and you want to know how many bags you can get, okay? So we don't know how many bags we can get, but we know it's $3.75 per bag, and we know we have $12, okay? So we can solve this. What would I get if I solved this? Let's make this 15. Five-ish?
Less than 5.
Well, what am I going to do?
Sorry.
I have 3.75 times x,
Divide by 3.75.
okay? And what will I get?
Like,
How about 4? Does that sound right?
I think it's too much.
Do you think it's too much? Well, I know 3.75 times 2 is 7.5. If I do that 2 times, then it's 15, isn't it? That's why I changed it to 15. Okay. I gave you, sorry, I messed up that example. Even I make mistakes sometimes. Okay, but what we're going to do for the last couple minutes, we won't have time to review it, but I want to give you guys some problems to work on your own. Okay, they should be fairly simple. You have 30 seconds.
Rapid fire.
This is done. Okay, so go ahead and stop real quick. Sorry, I gave you barely enough time to do that. I will certainly manage my time better next time. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, what do we get for this first one?
X equals 5.
Yes.
X equals 5? You guys all agree?
Yep.
Sounds good to me. How about this one?
X equals 33.
33?
Yeah.
9 times 4 is 36.
So it should be.
And then x plus 3 should equal 36, so 33 sounds good to me. And how about this one?
X equals 1.
X equals 1. Okay, so we're going to do more algebra. This was just an introduction. We're going to do more in the future. But try to look for opportunities when you're out and about to do algebra. It could be, I need to get to this town and I only have so much gas. Am I going to make it? Okay, you can use algebra to help you solve those problems. Your homework is numbers 1 through 10 in your textbook. You have to do it tomorrow. Or it's due tomorrow.
You have to do it tomorrow.
Good job today, class. Nice job.
Yeah.